Greetings and salutations. This is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
And we're having a look at Colonial militiamen for the AWI.
This time we won't ramble.
Yeah, we'll try not to ramble this time. We did go off on one before. So, these militiamen are, shall we say, interesting.
Oh, give on.
Right, so this is the little card you get with it, which is absolutely awesome. And I would say for the War of Independence range, I think these are the best figures they've actually produced. And I really wish the British and the American, the British line infantry were more like this, because they're great. You've got some brilliant poses. You can do lots of different conversions with these guys, and I think you're strange. You can't just sit there quietly, can you?
I was looking at it and then I was no longer looking at it anymore because it was on the floor.
The other day, he stabbed himself with a spear, didn't you?
And I also super glued my eyelids together.
Yeah, just thick. Right. So, the hands are pretty much the same as the British hands. I'm not going to joke, they actually are. But we do actually get axes. Now, the British often used axes, believe it or not, in the War of Independence. But there's no axes on the figures, which is a real shame. Because axes are really useful things, especially when you're in woods. So we've got axes, we've got we've got muskets, we've got swords, we've got, well, a sword, and we've got all sorts of stuff that you can just sort of convert the figures with. What?
I don't like the muskets.
Why don't you like the muskets?
Have you seen them? Everyone's seen the Perry ones, right?
Yeah.
When you just look at it from this side, it just looks like a stick.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to see it from that side. They haven't gone
Even
into a
from
huge
above,
amount
it
of
looks
detail.
like a stick.
Yeah.
But the figures, a lot of detail.
So, it derailed my brain again. Right, so I have a collection of interesting heads. The weird sock hat that they used to wear, and a British style hat, and lots of bicorns, which is cool. And they're pretty okay. I like the jackets, the hunting jackets. I just wish the British were more like this.
Yeah.
Whereas the British are very organised and all standing in a line. Whereas these guys look like they're doing stuff.
I mean, it is how we fought though, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is. But when you're doing a skirmish game, you want stuff to be a bit different.
Don't know how soldiers did it back then. Well, they just walks in a straight line knowing that if you're in the front, you're going to die. No, because you stand 2 metres apart. Your chances of being hit are very, very, very small. Especially if you're fighting Americans. Well, I watched Patriot, right? And
get stuffed. Yeah, and you know Zulu Dawn? Yeah. That awesome film. All the British are shoulder to shoulder. No, 2 metres apart. 4 metres in some cases.
Yes, but
in fact, no, listen to this, right? Izandwana, right? Yeah. Some of the shell casings are 10 metres apart.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, right? The Zulus fired their gun once,
and then
probably threw it at us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then stabbed us.
Yes, if they could get close enough.
If the point they did.
Well, yeah, all right, they did. And
thousands of them.
It's Andwana they actually did, but not. It's the only time they managed to do it.
Probably had the Gatling gun then. Probably still lost then.
No, they were with Pauline.
What?
He'd taken him with him.
Oh.
Pauline Chelmsford. Pauline didn't have any Gatling guns. He had a rocket. He was left with a rocket battery and 2 field guns.
Oh yeah, because he used mortars, didn't he?
Yeah, everything else was taken with Chelmsford. So Chelmsford had all the heavy ordnance and no infantry.
Even Rockstriff was alone.
Yeah, they didn't have a Gatling gun at Rockstriff either. No, it wasn't fair, was it? Just imagine if they had a Gatling gun, that would have been a very short battle. Just I
don't know why Rockstriff is more popular than Izandwana.
Because we won.
Yeah, because the Zulus didn't do what they normally do. They didn't swarm us. They just did this. Right, they can hit us from here. Let's do it somewhere else.
Well, range finding. Yeah, that's just one slight part of how Zulus operated.
But they did use guns on the hills.
Yes, they only killed 4 men.
Still
the entire battle.
I mean, there's only 15 anyway.
They only killed 4 British soldiers with all the muskets they captured at Izandwana.
I derailed the entire thing again, didn't I? I
yeah,
promised I wouldn't do it.
You did it again, right, sorry. If these guys would have been at Rockstrift, They wouldn't have fought there. They just skirmished in the countryside and been overrun by an impy. So these guys would not have stood a chance. In fact, the American army wouldn't have stood a chance at Rorschach.
No one would have stood a chance at Rorschach.
British did.
Yes, but because of tactics.
What, hide behind a biscuit box?
No, not us.
That's a good
them,
tactic. Oh,
them.
Yeah, basically Zulus cannot attack a fixed defence with an 8-foot deep trench in front of it, which is not depicted on the film, by the way.
No, it's not. It's
just a wall.
Tiny wall.
Yeah, those poor Zulus charged up to the wall, fell down an 8-foot ditch, and were quietly bayoneted during the night by the British. Yeah, we were horrible. We were really good at fighting. Incidentally, I don't think the Americans ever actually took a British fort in the War of Independence.
Damn.
And a couple surrendered, but I don't think they ever actually stormed a fort. Whereas the British used to go around forts. I suppose that's because they knew where the Americans were then.
Yeah.
And they just leave them there. The British had a arm tied behind the back because we weren't really allowed to operate. The Americans didn't operate on the same lines as the British did. Like, we'd sign letters of parole to prisoners, and the prisoners would just go back to the army. Which, you're not supposed to do that, but the Americans didn't care about rules. Which is fair, because they were rebelling against the king, so they're rebels. So, you know. Why are they called patriots?
Who?
Americans, why do they call themselves patriots?
Well, because they won, so technically it's their country now, after winning.
But
so they're the new patriots.
Being patriotic is patriotic to the king and the state, and they were rebelling against the king, therefore they weren't patriots.
Actually, they were rebelling against Parliament.
Oh, well, I think it was, for some reason they took King George up as the thing that was the problem. It was actually Parliament. The king didn't want to have a war. He just said, "Why don't let him go?" He didn't care. I mean, Canada never fought a war of independence. They said, "Can we be independent?" And we said, "Yeah." It's cheaper, isn't it? Just what the Americans did wrong. They've tried to fight us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, these are militia. So we've done it again.
Mm-hmm. It's our profession.
Yeah, they're good. I love these figures, by the way. They're awesome. Go buy them now. Your downside is because of the scale, you can't really use Perry with them. Not on the same base or anything. So you're probably best... I don't know what the right thing to do is. What do you think?
I don't know.
Well, they perfectly match the other figures produced in the Black Powder range by Warlord. So anything from the Black Powder range will match this stuff.
Well, I'm going with Perry for my stuff.
Yes, I know you are.
Not going for Warlord or your stuff.
Again, with Warlord, these would be hard to base as mass regiments.
If I'm honest, if you want it with these Warlord things, I think it's probably better to do them all on impetus bases.
Oh no. No, they're far more too moving about. Perry would be best based to impetus.
Well, yeah, but these ones are bases.
Yeah, I know. That's the problem, isn't it? It's a conundrum, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those things that's going to keep you up at night.
Oh, please no.
Yeah.
I heard enough of that.
Anyway, there we go. So, what is your overall opinion of the American militia?
Would look quite good. But I've noticed that everyone's going for this new type of plastic now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Why?
I would assume it's not made in China. Because China's gone now.
Well, it's made in Britain, all these boxes, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a lot of this stuff is. Let's have a look. No, it's actually produced in China.
No, it's made in Britain.
There. Well, maybe it's assembled in Britain.
Oh, it does say made in China.
Yeah. I maybe that's just a mould.
Well, yeah, because this is all made by
yeah,
a company, right?
Yeah.
So the company would have made it in China and then shipped it.
Yeah, that's it. It's just I'm not sure how you're going to do it now, given that China's under 18.
This is the new range, though, isn't it? These are all new tactics, so clearly they are doing it now.
Well, maybe this is stock that they got before China went underwater.
Well, I don't like it.
Oh.
I like the old plastic.
I know you like yeah, I kind of agree with you.
I tried to do spiders. I regret my life.
Yeah, that's Atlantic. That's
same plastic.
Yeah, I know it is the same plastic as Atlantic,
and just as complicated. Don't make them complicated now. What's going on?
You see, I wouldn't mind them being complicated if you could actually do something with them. These ones you can do something with. Unfortunately, the British, you can't really do a lot with them. There's not much. There's no way of really doing options with them because the arms are positioned in such a way that you can only fit one different thing to it.
Yeah.
Which is a bit tedious. That's it. I've got nothing else to add.
Well, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and comment down below what you think of the Colonial Militiaman. That's everything from me.
And everything from him. Goodbye.
See ya.